What's going on, everybody? In today's video, we are going to be talking about how to make six figures on one real estate deal. Now, I'm talking about short-term flips here. So I'm not talking about a property you bought, a year or two ago and the neighborhood improved and you saw appreciation of 100,000. That's great. And that's a whole nother video in itself. But in this video, I'm talking about short-term flips. So by that, I mean, 2, 3, 6 month, even 12-month flips if it's a large project. So all the real estate investors I know that have made six figures on one short-term real estate flip have had about three main factors in all of their deals. And the first one is they get a lot of leads. So whereas some investors might only have like 3 or 4, maybe like 10 leads to look from, the investors that make six figures on one deal consistently, they will oftentimes get like 100 leads a month or maybe 200 leads a month. So they will be sorting through so many different potential deals and then just basically cherry picking the best ones. And I have some videos on how to generate leads through direct mail, working with real estate agents, finding deals on the MLS. But overall, you don't want to just have to rely on a couple leads from a wholesaler, a couple leads from a real estate agent. You really need to be cherry picking the best deals and have, just a ton of leads coming through the pipeline, and then you're just choosing the best ones. Okay, so the second strategy for making six figures on one real estate deal would be, and this is kind of like a simple one, but it's obvious and it needs to be said. You need to be in a higher end market. So I'll get leads all the time from, maybe places like Baltimore where, someone will say, look, you can buy this house for $5,000. And, the house might only sell for like $100,000 fully renovated. And there's just not, like, the margins are just not there. Now, I'm sure there's some house flipper in Baltimore that's probably made six figures on one real estate deal. He's probably going to comment on this video. But generally speaking, it's going to make your job a lot easier. If you want to make six figures on one deal, it's going to make it a lot easier if you're in some higher end market where maybe properties sell for $600,000 or $700,000 renovated. Because in that scenario, you don't necessarily need like the deal of the year. Like in Baltimore or another area, you would literally need to have the deal of the year to make six figures. In, a higher end area, you might just have like a mediocre deal. And just based on the margins, you'll be able to make potentially six figures if you run your numbers right. Okay, and the third major thing I see with investors that make six figures on one deal is that they typically rehab the deal. So, I know wholesalers who have wholesaled a deal for $100,000 before, and wholesaling, and I have videos about that. That's basically where you're assigning a contract or maybe doing a double close where you're really not doing any work to the property. You're basically passing it off to another investor. However, if you want to make six figures, oftentimes you're actually going to need to fix up the house yourself, or obviously hire a contractor or do some type of partnership, where you're taking ownership, you're putting in the sweat equity, and then, you're seeing the profit on the back end. So a lot of these six-figure deals are, oftentimes more involved rehab. Sometimes they're much larger projects. Maybe you're doing an addition, something like that. But at the same time, if you're getting a lot of leads, you should be able to find, even more of the simple fix and flip deals that can yield $100,000 profits. So there you have it. Those are the main things to keep in mind if you're looking to make six figures on one real estate deal. And just to recap this video, the first thing to keep in mind is that you need to be sorting through a lot of leads. Like, you need to be just cherry picking the best leads. Get 100 leads and then choose one. If you were just relying on 3 or 4 leads, you're probably not going to find that six-figure deal. And the second thing is to be in a higher end market. Now, maybe that's just impossible, or maybe you would have to move. But if you want to, don't get your expectations up that you're going to make six figures in a market where properties might only sell for like $100,000 or $200,000 renovated. When you're in the higher end market, you don't need the deal of the year to make six figures. It's actually a lot more common in some of these higher end markets to make six figures. In fact, some people, their criteria is like they need to make six figures for it to even be worth their time. And the third thing to keep in mind is that you should probably do a rehab if you're looking to make six figures. When you're actually doing the renovations, adding that value, it's going to make it a lot easier than if you were to just flip the wholesale contract to another investor. So you will need to do more of the construction. Obviously, you can hire a contractor or partner with someone, but keep that in mind. So I hope you enjoyed this video on how to make six figures on one real estate deal. And if you like this video, please give me a like, please subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. All right, bye.